AITA for refusing to attend a few sessions of my dad and his wife's marriage counseling.
This argument started 3 weeks ago.
But I need to go back to a little over a month ago for context. My dad called me 19F and asked if I'd go out for lunch with him because we needed to talk.
I agreed, and we went somewhere private and had lunch, just the two of us. While we were there, he asked me how I felt about his wife and whether I loved and what she would me from my perspective, and then he gave examples of second MOM figure, best friend, or special ad.
I asked why he was asking the question, and he told me it was homework the marriage counselor set for him, and he told me the answers were important.
He said his wife was feeling like she was only in my life because they were married and that I didn't care for her either way.
I told him she was right,
that I didn't love her or see her as any of the things he meant.
I said the most
I could say was she was his wife, and I respected he loved and wanted her, so I accepted her for that. He told me that didn't mean I didn't love her though, and asked one question about he died.
They divorced if they were both elderly and needed care, and my half-siblings couldn't do it all, or if they both needed care, my half-siblings were too young to care for them, would I care for her like I would for him? I told him if they divorced,
I wouldn't stay in touch with her, and it would be the same if he died.
I told him I'd take care of him, that I love him,
that he gave me a good life,
but I wouldn't do the same for her. I tried to insist that the questions stop there, but they did.
He wanted to know if I didn't love her, at least someone I'm very close to, and I told him no, and I said I'm not very close to.
He said
he didn't think 12 was too old to form a close bond with a step-parent, and I told him maybe not for some, but for me it was.
He asked me if I hadn't want him find someone to love who could be a maternal figure for me. I told him honest that
I believed him when he swore for years after MOM died that there'd never be someone else.
That I wasn't mad about it not being true, but he blindsided me when he told me at 12 he'd fallen in love and was getting married again.
I told him I was 10 or 11, maybe when he last said there'd never be another after MOM, and I believed. A couple of weeks after that, my dad told me I needed to join in the marriage counseling session because his wife was feeling like shit, and we needed to all come together and find a way forward where she felt loved and wanted by me. He said he was worried his marriage would end if we didn't figure it out.
I told him I wasn't joining their marriage counseling and that it had nothing to do with me. He told me it had everything to do with me because she did want to stay
married if she was merely tolerated by me. He said we needed to figure it out as a family, and he told me if I don't go it might break his wife's heart enough that the marriage ends now. But I put my foot down and said no again.
He's asked me
every week since, and my answer hasn't changed. He said his wife broke down at their last session and said she didn't want to have a family that wasn't whole, and that the counselor had wanted to speak to me too. He said my refusal was killing his marriage, and I figure out a way with his wife because if they were together long term she would be around my kids, and she might not want to be a grandparent to them if I'm indifferent to her. I can't believe the counselor is asking as well. His wife needs to understand that she
is his wife. If you are respectful to her in that station, that is all she can ask, and only if she is respectful back.
She isn't owed your love, and if she wants it so bad she would have needed put in the effort to form that kind of relation.
And her
relationship with you is a separate relationship from him. If they are in marriage counseling, that is for them. Connect as a couple and work on their issues. 3 adults shaming a 19-year-old into a relationship is stupid.
They need to accept where you stand now, and instead of guilt-tripping you and sending a prop to your step-MOM, should have tried to build a relationship when you were a kid and lived there. Your love wasn't an automatic.
If she did try and you just don't feel it, then she should accept your honesty and can say I love you and respect your decision. If I make you uncomfortable, let me know, and then act respectfully to you at Holland and
start
their marriage isn't falling apart because of you.
They should not be dragging you into their shit.
And your dad should put his foot down if his marriage is hinging on something that isn't his own thoughts, feelings or actions, and stand up for your right to your truth and validate that he won't coerce you into some untrue feeling or an awkward as heck situation. If he wasn't accepting your no in private, it won't get better with new wife as the audience. Fair point. I agree with you.
And let's not forget, his marriage problems aren't your responsibility.
Their counseling is for their relationship, not forcing you into a relationship with her you don't want. You were honest when asked direct questions. You didn't volunteer hurtful information. You just refused to lie when pressed repeatedly.
Your feelings are valid. Your dad using emotional blackmail about killing his marriage is manipulative.
His wife's expectations that you must love her are unreasonable. Adults shouldn't need a teenager's validation to have a stable marriage. The counsel want to talk to up so they can get a hand on the hang up that our wife has on not being
MOM, so they can work through it, so she can realize that not being MOM doesn't mean the end to her marriage. The problem is that dad's wife went into marriage thinking and hoping that she would be the beloved new MOM to Op, saving from a MOM-less life, forgetting that Op had years with MOM who they remember and don't want replaced. They had a dad who spent years saying they would never replace their MOM. So the marriage is cracking because dad's wife had unrealistic expectations which remain unfulfilled. The best dad can hope for is for Op to talk to the counselor
and privately, as Op has done with their dad, so they have something to work with to fix dad's wife. Crazy expectations of OP. Are you sure your dad and his wife are meeting with professional and qualified counsel? Your dad's marriage is in trouble, and his wife is projecting the cause the breakdown in their relation onto the lack of a relationship with her adult stepdaughter and sidestepping the real in their marriage. If your dad and his
wife are serious about trying to fix their marriage, they should get a better or qualified counsel and be honest with the counselor as to the root cause of their problem. NTA find that hard to believe. No therapist who's actually certified would Ever bring a kid into couples therapy? What is the couples therapy?
Couples therapy can give you and your partner the opportunity to discuss and resolve issues related to several aspects of your relation, which can include roles in the relationship. Couples therapy can help you examine the roles you and
your partner play in the relationship and identify unhealthy dynamic. During relationship or couple therapy, the therapist will try to change the way in which both partners interact with each other.
The therapist will also aim to ensure couples are not behaving in a way which may cause any type of harm to the relationship, for example psychological, physical, or economic harm. The primary goals of couples therapy are to strengthen the relationship by restoring love, respect, and affection, while improving communication and addressing individual needs. Once you bring the kids into the session, it's not couples therapy anymore, it's family therapy.
That needs a different kind of training
and license.
Does that therapist have training or a license in family therapy? System therapy. Family therapy. What is family systems therapy?
Family systems therapy is a type of psychotherapy that views the family as an interconnected unit.
It operates on
the understanding that an issue affecting one member impacts all members. Conversely, a strong family unit can offer support to an individual in need. Family systems therapy also considers generation, social, community, and cultural influences on individual. Family therapy aims to resolve affect the mental health and function of the entire family. So it's either family therapy, not couples therapy, or they aren't seeing a licensed therapist. Either way, please don't go if don't wish to. It seems your father may be misleading you regarding the type of therapy and its objective, or maybe he's dodging
responsibility for his marriage.
By shifting the onus of marital preservation onto you, he avoids the necessity of personal effort or change. Whatever happens, if they default, that's on them.
You are not obligated to attend sessions, nor are you responsible for their marriage.
Nor should you be pressured to develop a familial bond with your stepmother against your wishes.
NTA, I will never understand people who marry someone with a child and assume they're going to have this deep parental bond with the kid.
That's really not something the adults get to dictate, and while they can be open to it, they should be aware
it's up to the kid to ultimately determine how close they'll become.
Stepmom is being outright insane, and your dad is being weak. Frankly, they shouldn't have even gotten married. If she could handle being a stepmom, I think my dad expected it to become a parental bond too. His question about didn't I want him to remarry so I could have a maternal figure stuck out to me because no, I did not. I wasn't longing for him to give me a new MOM or maternal figure. That's the key point here. He could have talked to you about it then. You were 12, a little young perhaps, but old enough to have and express opinion. In all honesty, it is unfathomable to me that he had no idea how you felt about a replacement.
Did you just not talk back when you were a child? What you want is this dumping of responsibility on you to stop. Your father isn't showing any signs of hearing you or respecting your wishes. You need to either cut him dead faster, for example, respond no and nothing more, in the hopes he realizes he is wasting his time and stop, or try to give a definitive answer, like a written statement to the therapist. I think it is ridiculous that two adults want to bring me into their counsel. I did not choose my stepmother, and if I had been asked at any point if there was space for a new mother in my life, I would have clearly stated that there was not. I was not involved in the decision my father made to marry in any capacity.
I accept that.
My father gets to choose his own partner.
But he does not get to choose my relationship for me. While stepmother has been a decent human being
for all the time I have known her, she is just that to me, a decent human being who is married to my father. No amount of negotiation or argument will change that feeling. If anything, this attempt to invalidate my feelings will